to see where I started the recording. Chris, are you on the clock?
Hey, Jeremy, we're just waiting to see if we get a quorum, but,
And
hold
I
on
started
one second.
No, I'm starting the recording just so I can go through attendance and stuff.
Everything's good?
Okay,
Why?
Right.
Yeah. Why you ask me?
So the one is, they come, he only has a towel wrapped around him and they take him in the ambulance. But my
Would you- would
granddaughter, that's
Do
Italian.
you want that on, do you want that on camera, Sandy?
What?
Do you want this recorded? Because it's being recorded, whatever you're saying right now.
Oh, okay, then no, forget about it. I'll tell you.
Okay, so I see Ken's online. So Bernadette was gonna be late if she shows up. Do you know if she's?
Hello?
one
Who's
second,
there?
Jeremy, somebody came in and
Did
didn't come
they
in.
come in?
Hazel, thanks for today.
You're welcome. I'm
Uh,
hoping I can help.
She doesn't have a phone, but I'll find a way to get in touch with her.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Who are you talking to?
Kids, can you make sure that door is closed behind?
Oh,
Ken's
hey,
mic?
Hazel.
Just come and take a seat along.
Hi, good, how are you?
Good.
You coming to observe or?
Yep.
Okay, great.
You wanna let, oh.
When Jeremy starts the attendance, we'll have people introduce themselves.
So since I've started the recording, can we start doing that now? So I have Al, Veronica in person, Rabbi in person, Phyllis in person, Sandy in person. I
Correct.
got Ken and Hazel remote. I know Malcolm sent an email. He's not going to be able to make it. April was going to be remote, but I don't see her in yet. Do you?
No,
Miguel
no.
is remote. Oh, Miguel was.
Oh,
on
she
the
just
other
joined now.
one.
Miguel's not
Oh,
part of
he
the,
moved to the other one. April is on.
Sandy, Miguel's not part of the board.
Oh, that's right.
So April's on. Okay.
Excuse my bad.
Do you know about Bernadette? She's going to show up. I know she said she might be late.
I don't know, I haven't heard from her.
I think Serena was going to try to be remote, but she's not. She's
Who's
not
on?
in the vicinity. To my knowledge. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Then you're representing ethics tonight, and then I don't know about Janice. So it's really just comes down to Bernadette and Janice, I would say.
So we don't have a quorum in person. We can't do anything.
We can't do any
Don't
voting.
have
We
a,
can't do any voting, but we could discuss.
Discuss it all.
yeah, you don't have a quorum in person.
Yes.
Let me just
You
double
need
check.
what, 9 to have a quorum in person?
Hold on, I'm looking right now.
Oh, executive board.
Yeah, leadership. So it's 16 is the full amount. So half
Right.
plus 1 would be 9. So that means, remember, that means, you know, so Veronica is representing herself as the treasurer and ethics chair and economic development chair.
Economic Development Chair.
So you're 3 people tonight.
Yeah, and the co-chair of ethics.
And then, so yeah, you're representing 3 positions tonight. So
It's okay. That's
well,
three.
we do some
Still,
adding.
that's three in mine too. It still doesn't give us a quorum.
What we can do, Jeremy, we'll give it a few minutes, but what we can do is we can go over everything that doesn't need a vote.
Yeah.
And hold anything that needs a vote until the end, which we get a quorum, then we'll vote then.
Yeah.
But this way at
Yeah,
least.
so we have 7. We have 7 technically in-person people tonight.
Eight.
Remember,
We have 8. If I represent 2 and Veronica represents 3, that's
That's
5,
fine.
6,
oh
7,
yeah, I
8.
forgot about education.
Thanks.
Okay, but we got you.
Well, I didn't forget about Phyllis, which is what matters, right? So so then we need one more person in person, technically, to have a quorum. Does anybody want to reach out to Bernadette?
I'll try.
So there's Serena. She's online, as I suspected, or she more or less told us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that 8.
So it really comes down to Janice and Bernadette.
Should be fixed. Good.
All right, why can't we go over
Let's
so
start, yeah.
far that we don't need to have a quorum for?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we'll
technically,
just
you need a
introduce-
quorum to officially start a meeting. So, I mean, we can go into it, but if we could just try to track down Bernadette and Janice. that
Well, I
would
just
be-
texted her.
All right, but right now, we can go over the minutes.
They come in late.
No, we can't do the minutes.
Can't vote on the
Jeremy, do
minutes.
you see me now?
I don't see you, but I see your name.
Well, no, I mean, like, you're not gonna see me in but you're gonna see me. Do you need to see me on camera this second? 'Cause you're
Not
gonna
at
get
this
all-
moment because we don't
Okay.
have a quorum in person, but if we have a
Okay.
quorum in person, it's a
I
different
will,
story.
I will be smiling. I'll be on camera. Thank you.
So does anybody want to call
Thanks,
Janice or
Serena.
text her?
I don't have Janice's contact.
I don't have it either.
Veronica, do you have her info?
Yep, let me reach out to her.
Probably forgot. So it's really down, it's down to her and Bernadette.
Yeah, but Bernadette's closer.
Janice always comes a little late, so
Yes, we just.
she might be on her way.
Her phone went straight to voicemail, didn't even ring.
All right, so yeah, that's okay. So I'm gonna make Serena co-host. Chris, I don't know if you said you were on the clock tonight or not. I know we didn't really talk about it.
No, I'm not. I'm just
Okay.
observing.
All right. So then I made everybody who's a member of the committee a co-host. Oh, no, April, I got to make a co-host. All right, so while we wait, so to speak, do you want me, Al, do you want me to explain what I'm doing with attendance? Or do you want me to?
Yeah,
Jeremy?
Yeah.
We can, since we have nothing to vote on, there's no motions, at this point. Can we have the gallery session go first?
Yeah, I mean, you could do whatever you want at this point, with the exception of,
Oh, just so that we do something rather than just sit around
around and
and,
wait.
you know, we have everybody waiting.
All right, he's
yeah, I
gonna-
mean, if you want to start, we might as well just start. You do the
why don't we-
introduction,
why don't
we
we-
don't have a quorum, all that stuff.
All right, why don't we start? And what we'll do is we'll do our gallery session first,
I'll have to explain.
and then we'll go over the calendar. Then we'll review the, agenda. And then we'll go over the minutes, because we can't vote on the minutes because we don't have,
Right.
we don't have a quorum.
and I'll just make a statement about a letter of support.
Well,
Which
my recommendation, for what it's worth, is we just follow the agenda, because some of the members of the public might want to respond to some of the things on the agenda, and then if we do have a quorum, then we could actually maybe vote on something if necessary. Because typically, the agenda, correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, we start off with introductions, minutes, the full board agenda, the calendar, and then the gallery, in case they want to respond to anything. I mean, it's up to you, though. It's your committee, Al.
All right, we'll keep it that way.
That way, let's just.
So Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and explain why we don't have the attendance sheet?
Well, let's start with today's date and all that stuff. Do you want to do that, Al, or do you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
So today is February 15th, 2024. It is 7:11 p.m. This is a meeting of the Leadership Committee of Community Board 11 in the Bronx. We do not have a quorum at this point in time, so we will not be voting on anything until we do have a quorum. But we are going to stay with the
Yep.
agenda. So anyway, but before we get
Jeremy?
there, yeah, Ken?
Jeremy, one question. Can we start with the conduct statement?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody would like to read that, I know Malcolm's not here tonight. That's a really good point.
Alrighty, I'll read it.
Okay.
Any action or behavior that disrupts or interferes with Community Board 11 business will not be tolerated during any Community Board 11 meeting and may result in the individual or individuals being asked to leave. If the action or behavior continues, this may be considered disturbing the peace, and the appropriate authorities may be summoned. If the meeting is held remotely, the person may be muted or expelled for the remainder. Repeated violations by the same person or group of people may result in further action by the community board. All public speakers must address the full board or the committee with their concerns. Electioneering for a position other than the officer of Community Board 11 is prohibited. Engaging in acts of violence, including threat, are ground for immediate, oh, Janice is here. For immediate suspension of the right to attend meetings, pending review by the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee. Respect the equality, diversity, and privacy of all persons by respecting and valuing differences of culture and opinion. Refrain from unpleasant or disparaging remarks and other actions. Abstain from all forms of harassment by actively discouraging it. Disseminating false information is prohibited.
Thank you, Janice.
I'm not Janice.
Janice is here, Janice is here, we have the quorum.
We have a forum. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's
Good.
review the minutes.
I don't know where you are with your minutes, so you might want to skip that topic. I
Okay,
mean,
we skipped.
we should figure that out though.
Ourselves.
Am I gonna, I started taking minutes. Is that okay?
Yes, please, Hazel, thank you.
Thank you, Hazel.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right, how about the full agenda? Can you put that up, Jeremy, please?
I thought you guys were going to do introductions first. I'm sorry.
That's what I keep saying, but yeah, introduction.
So,
Say who you
so
are.
what, you want me to just run down through the attendance, Al?
Yes.
Yeah.
And where's that?
Yeah, he's
All
gonna.
right, so,
Yeah, go ahead, Jeremy.
Raise the.
and so this is one reason, just so I'm on the topic. Unless you're chair of a committee and you want an attendance sheet, we're not going to print them anymore. We're just going to, since I'm live streaming every meeting, I'm just going to run through it at the beginning, because doing a paper sheet agenda, it's just redundant work because it's going to be put in the spreadsheet anyway. So I might as well just put it on the tape and put in the spreadsheet. So in terms of attendance for tonight, we don't know about Bernadette. She did say she's going to be late if she can make it. So if she's not here, we'll mark her excused. Al's in person. Veronica's in person. She's not only, she has 3 positions tonight because Naomi could not be here tonight. So she's the co-chair of ethics. She's also the chair of the Economic Development Committee, and she's the treasurer. But the bylaws do discourage her from voting more than once, and I don't think she'll do that. Hazel's here remote. Malcolm is excused. Averill's remote. Rabbi's in person. Ken Gelnick is remote. Serena is remote. These are the committee chairs after Malcolm. They're the executive officers, so Averill Sanitation and so forth. Phyllis is filling 2 seats tonight, education chair and public safety chair. She's in person. Naomi already explained. Sandy's in person. Janice is in person. We have a quorum. Good, Al?
Thanks, Jeremy.
So do you want to do everybody else introduce? I don't think that's necessary. Just
Introduce everybody. So,
Right, except for the people who are sitting in the back.
Just for the record, in person, we have Brian Adams.
Yeah.
Adrian Gonzalez, and would you like to introduce yourself so we know who you are?
Yeah, I'm Raphael. I'm just an observer.
all right, Raphael.
Thank you, Raphael. Okay.
Yeah, and I think most people can see the names on the screen for who's
Yes.
remotely. Just a reminder, if I didn't name off your names or your positions for your attendance, you're not a member of the committee. That includes myself. So if you need me to be quiet, just tell me. Technically, anybody else that wants to speak, should speak in the gallery. That's not a member of the committee.
Also, if your name was called as a member of the committee, please put on your camera. We need to be able to see you in order to count you as being present. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, Al, you want the full board agenda? Is that good
Please.
enough for introductions? I think that's a yes.
We have Jeanette Wilson who just came on.
Jeanette
Wilson.
Member.
She's a board
She's,
member.
she's not a member of the committee. Just bear with me. So I'm pulling up the full board agenda. The meeting is next week. It's at Einstein. We've not gotten bumped from the location yet, thank God. Hopefully we won't. Hopefully I didn't jinx us. Let me share my screen. So I gotta change this January to February. Oops. You see that, or does it need to be larger?
Make it a little bit bigger.
Yep.
I got it. That's good.
Brian,
Okay. Thursday. You know, anybody know what day is Thursday? It's 22nd, I think.
Brian, what
Thursday,
date?
22nd, yeah.
Okay. So the login information here for WebEx, anybody's going to join remotely, will probably change because last time it was an off. It was on a Tuesday. Usually that changes that. I don't know about these people. I have to see who's going to sign up in the gallery. If anybody speaks later, if they want to let us know, if they want to put it in the chat, if they're going to speak in the gallery at the full board, it'd be great. Just a reminder that I put it the way you submit it. So if you want Mr. or Miss, you know, like is here, that's entirely up to you. I'm going to put verbatim. If you don't spell your own name wrong, that's your fault, not mine. All right. Chair's report, treasurer's report. Do you need to make mention of the investigative committee again or no?
oh, not at the moment. I don't think they've set up their first meeting. I'm gonna reach back out to them and see when that's gonna happen, but for now, we don't have to put it there.
Okay. Well, when we come to the calendar, maybe, I don't know if Jeanette's probably, if she wants to pick some dates in mind and talk to them or whatever, since she's on the committee. Treasurer's report, we approve these minutes, right? So now we got to look at January. What else?
Jeremy, I'm gonna bring,
Yeah, your letter?
yeah, but that'll be under new business, correct? But I'm also looking at, do you want to bring up recycling in the office again? I think it's.
No. I made my point that, well, we'll see what I find. We'll see what I find in the garbage. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that as a placeholder. Maybe I'll put committee attendance. I don't know if I need to do that, but for attendance. Leadership, we haven't voted on anything yet. We can come back to this. Economic Development's meeting next week. Chris told me that you are going to have a meeting. You do need a meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything specific you want to bring to people's attention, but I'll just leave this as placeholder maybe until the meeting. So the meeting is Wednesday and then the full board meeting's Thursday, so that's really tight.
no, I'll get you the motion right after the meeting, so you could amend the agenda once we have it.
Was anything voted on in ethics? Do you
No,
guys have a quorum?
we did not have a quorum. We did have a presentation, or would you consider it a
Discussion.
presentation? It was a discussion, but
Discussion.
nothing was voted on.
Anything going under the report that should
I
be
don't
brought to
think
the
so.
board's attention?
Yeah,
Okay, so you guys can get back to us. Bylaws,
Excuse me,
Bylaws,
in ethics, we had asked to bring to the leadership meeting, we did have a question about the Facebook page, the Citizens of Community Board 11.
yeah, that we'll discuss that probably in new business, I think. It's not, I don't think it needs to be on the agenda just yet
Okay,
for
thank
the
you.
board. Yeah, but thank you for the reminder. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
so then this is related to the borough president's social media policy, so I'll leave that as a placeholder. Bylaws,
well, we did the motion to amend Article 4. Motion.
no. But you guys didn't meet this month.
We tabled it for the moment. Probably it's a
Yeah.
no-brainer at this point.
I understand that, but are you going to meet again? is the real question.
I have, not that I know of, not at this moment.
So my recommendation is that you disband that committee because that's the point of a non-standing committee. Unless you want to continue to leave yourself open for more work.
You want to continue it?
Well, if something comes up, then we'll meet again.
So it's disbanded until something comes up with a new
Until something
committee.
comes up.
Yeah, that's my recommendation because remember, it's a non-standing committee. If you want to make it, if the board wants to make a standing committee, that's a different story.
I think that would be Bernadette's,
But that's
Cool.
what it
Yes,
is.
it is. But since Sandy's here, she may want to talk to her about that.
Okay.
Community development, they have a public hearing coming up. You know, Hazel brought a good question to me earlier about public hearings. If public hearings, you actually need to be in person, or you can be completely virtual. I think that's a really good question. Serena, I don't know if you want to make your public hearing later this month mandatory for your committee. I know Carrie had that question of you. Are you here, Serena?
I think she said she had to jump off a second.
Wait. I'm here. I'm
Okay.
sorry, guys. It's like a storm over here. So you're asking me if I want to make it mandatory in person for my committee? I
No,
mean,
if you want to make it mandatory for your committee in general.
the public hearing, absolutely. You know, I think so. And whoever has to be excused will be excused.
All right, so I'm gonna, if it's okay with you, Serena, do you want to be in person? Do you want to have?
I want to give an option. It could be hybrid and it could be or remote. So I want to give people the option because some people like to be in person.
Yeah, okay, so we'll leave the in-person option.
Okay.
Just keep in mind going forward, so for committee meetings, you definitely need an in-quorum person. For public hearings, you may not. So just keep that
Okay.
in mind if push comes to shove for a public hearing.
Can you guys see me now? Because I thought you were able to see me.
Yeah,
wasn't
I can
sure.
see you.
Okay,
see
so, okay, thank you. So yeah, so that's a good thing. So it works in our favor either way. If it's not mandatory, then, you know, then great. If it is, then we're doing what we have to do. So thank you.
Yeah, some people will want to come in person, I know that. Education. So you got this event, when's the event? Next week? This week?
It's day after tomorrow, Saturday.
Okay, school replenishment. And you want me, and I'll leave that on there so you can report to the board how it went. 17th, is it?
Sure.
What is it?
The 17th at 12 noon, yes.
Okay. And then in terms of leadership awards, is there anything you want to tell the committee or the board?
85?
We didn't get our 5, no. Well, we
Okay.
weren't able, we didn't have a quorum for the meeting, so we weren't able to, well, we didn't have the awards either. We didn't have the applications in front of us, but we will be looking at them at the next meeting.
Yeah, and we still have time on this.
are you still accepting applicants or is?
Well, yeah, we only have 4, so we can still take more.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure Tiz is not opposed to this, but people can submit year round. I mean, because also if they have to resubmit, they just change the date and, you know, like say they miss it. It's good practice for them to fill out the application, right?
Yeah,
Both?
yes.
Okay. All right, so health, Sandy, do you want to bring up your letter thing?
Well, 2 things. One, we will have a speaker in March for prostate awareness, cancer awareness month. And 2, I want to bring up the letter of support for the residents to get, you know, an increase in their salary. And I gave you the letter, a copy of the letter, and I asked you to send it to everyone that they would see it before the next meeting. That came from Community Board 8, and we would literally send the same letter, but make it for CB 11.
Okay.
All right?
So yeah, I see that. You sent that
wait.
this morning, or no, you sent Wednesday and this morning.
I think I sent it this morning again.
I'll send it to. No, we need, this is a screenshot. I need to get the actual, this is from CB8, you said?
Right, all we have to do is rewrite it and put in CB 11. It was the only way I could do it, Jeremy.
No, well, I'll get this from, who did you get this from?
The woman who came to my meeting, Ruiz, Nicholson.
So who wrote, so what you sent me has Bronx Community Board 11 in it. Who wrote that?
Maybe she did.
So could you reach out to her? Do you want to give, or get, when later on, you give me her contact info and I'll get the actual, that way I don't have to type up what she already typed?
All right. I will
I mean,
check.
I can share the screen just so everybody, it's clear. It's a letter of support for the Committee of Interns and Residents
Right.
SEIU Healthcare. I mean, I can share this. I could just send it to everybody now, but I do want I don't want to have to recreate the wheel with the typing. It's okay.
Well, that was the best I could do to get it, so.
No, if you just reach out to her or give me her contact info and we'll get it from her directly.
Okay.
All right. So
Yeah.
then, I guess we won't really discuss this further tonight then, unless anybody wants to. Right, Al? Hello? Can anybody hear me?
No, you could go ahead, Jeremy.
All right, so I'm going to forward the email on now. And yeah, if nobody's heard, I've been on leave, so not fully been in it mentally. All right. So who's next? Where are we?
All right, Jeremy, I'm gonna send you something with Aisha's address on it, okay?
Okay, whatever. All right.
Aisha Brown.
No, it's Aisha Ruiz.
87.
All right, so public here. Anything for housing, Hazel?
I don't think so.
So so as I think I told you earlier, Hazel, and very confirmed with correct me if I'm wrong, Ken and Rabbi, you and I, we spoke separately last month. You know, we set up the meeting for this month with the MTA, and then next month there'll be a public hearing, which is, remember, we only hear from the public. It's not a meeting. It's not a back and forth. They say their spiel, and then you guys make your recommendation however you want at that meeting. Because it's, right? You're going to have a joint meeting again?
Yes.
Land use, transportation?
Transportation and land use, yeah.
Okay, so that's a ULEP public hearing. I mean, that requires, I think, 1/3 of the board to be present.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Chris did not tell me that when I spoke to him earlier today.
Yeah, no, I spoke to Chris after that, and yeah, so.
Because that's what I specifically was asking, because I had the commissioner, the DOT commissioner.
Yeah, that I think that's fine. You just gotta remember that the public hearing is in some ways just checking a box. Yes, we really want to hear from the public, but at the same time, that's all you're supposed to really do. I mean, and then we have our meeting, you vote how you want to vote, but it's not this back and forth that wastes so much time, which is why I don't think it's a problem for Anthony to be a guest that night. As long as you remember to stay on top of it, you know.
Yeah,
make sure
but
people-
I know there was a lot of things people wanted to bring to Anthony about transportation issues.
Yeah, I don't see that being a problem. Do you?
I see it being a problem, Jeremy. It's too much. You're putting too much on the plate, Jeremy. Sorry.
Well, it's not me. I mean, it's
And
your
we-
committee. So you got you, Hazel, and Ken and Oral. If you want to work it out later, or you want to try to work it out now. I mean, I don't think now's a good time.
We can work it out in 2 minutes. Who do we dump? Do we dump the public hearing or we dump DOT?
Oh,
Is the
no,
public-
not DOT.
Because
Well, we're required to have a public hearing. We don't have to have it the same night.
I think we
then
should
have
have
the public hearing a different night.
the public
Well,
hearing.
When is land use?
We don't have a
Just
date.
meet
for a
whenever
specific date.
normally.
Okay, so why don't we have the
Idea.
public hearing another night?
With land use, wonderful idea. Hazel's brilliant.
Fine.
Okay.
Super Hazel, Super Hazel.
Well, wait a minute.
Brian.
With DOT, wasn't it supposed to be a joint with public safety and transportation?
Yes, it was.
Well, we can make,
So
we can
when-
make, hold on, we haven't gotten the calendar yet, so let's just get through the
Right,
agenda.
but that was the original plan with having the Commission of DOT was to have the joint meeting with public safety and transportation with the commissioner.
What is Cynthia? Right.
Right, so
Cynthia
do
said
that,
something.
and then we'll figure out, Jeremy, where we're putting the public hearing. Move
Yeah,
the
all right,
agenda.
fine. We'll do that with the calendar next.
Yeah, we
move the
can
agenda.
keep, wait, hold on, we can keep the public hearing for the 4th and then have DOT come for public safety.
Whatever. you
How
just
does that
can't do-
work?
You
I
just
think
can't do it together. that's
No,
all.
you can't do.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
You work it out. Let's move along.
Right.
Rabbi has to leave and we need a vote before before he does.
Yeah, but Jeremy, I mean, the commissioner already confirmed it, so come on, let's not play game with them.
Yeah, the commissioner confirmed for the
Postpone
4th.
the public hearing with land use and it's a done deal.
All right,
But it
well, we
wasn't
haven't,
supposed to
we'll get to the
be
calendar, March calendar soon. So let's just, so Parks and Recreation, I don't know if there's any votes there. Is there any votes for any of these committees? Public Safety hasn't met yet, right? Phyllis?
No,
Sanitation, I don't know if they had a quorum. Transportation, we're discussing. Diversity's having a meeting coming up next week. I'm gonna publish your agenda. Yeah, I don't know if there's social media committees really necessary either. Should probably be disbanded too.
Jeremy, if I could get a timeout, I don't know if this is the proper time to ask it, but I'd like sooner or later for you to find the presentation from MTA, the bus guys that told.
Yeah, no, Hazel, I remember, yeah, Hazel's asked for that. We'll get it.
And we now to get them back to see the success of this new, whatever it was called, bus plan, where they moved this bus there and that bus there. I would like to
Oh, I
get,
thought you were talking about, I thought Hazel was asking, Hazel, was that what you were asking for? Or you were asking for the MTA presentation?
no, she was,
No, I was asking for the MTA presentation, but yeah, but the other, the bus stop thing too, we need.
All right, so you need both. All right.
They were supposed to have sent that to us
Need
already
both.
too.
right,
All right, I'm taking social media off. If anybody's on that committee, there's a real point to it. You might want to talk to Brian about that. City, yes, I don't think they met this month either. I'm gonna take them off. Anybody else, anything else?
Anything else?
Yes.
So we
it's
have the
gonna be-
correct council member here. Any other elected officials we need to correct? I don't think so. Anything else for the full board agenda until further notice?
Is there,
That's it.
With
Motion
economic
to-
development, with the exception of the one that we tabled on Willows Bridge Road.
Yeah, these are just placeholders.
Yeah.
We don't have any SLA licenses, do we?
Not that I know of.
So if I may, Al, one thing that you should all be aware of that I've already basically made Veronica aware of, and Chris definitely is aware of it. The SLE keeps emailing me issues with establishments in Brooklyn Community Board 11, Manhattan Community Board 11, like nothing for the Bronx. So it makes me concerned or worried that other community boards are getting these notices for our district and I don't know about it. I've been pushing this issue. They said they're working on it.
So the liquor authority, state liquor authority has been sending him notices that have to do with establishments outside of Bronx
Oh.
CB11. He's getting it from Manhattan and Brooklyn. But he's worried that somebody else is
Is getting
receiving the
out.
Bronx notices and
Cool.
we're not getting them.
Mhm.
So that's why he's working with them on to rectify.
I mean, when I don't forget about it, I forward it on to my colleagues at Manhattan 11 or Brooklyn 11. But still, I mean, why should I have to do that?
right.
I mean, I do it as a courtesy because, you know, they're my colleagues, but
Right.
I literally
I
send
think
emails.
we want it done too.
Right, and you expect the same from them.
Yeah, well,
all right, a motion to accept the minutes?
Second.
Second.
Except the.
I mean, the agenda.
The agenda.
Agenda.
The
Second.
minutes we passed, we did that already.
well, we
the
might have to modify it if there's something else we vote on, but all right.
Yeah, so just basically a motion to accept the agenda as it is
Modify-
As it
now.
is now.
Modifications.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure Burnett is gonna want me to put stuff under her report.
Is anyone opposed? Any abstention? The agenda carries. Calendar, Jeremy.
Yeah, pulling it up.
Yeah.
Where is it? Come on.
So there's some what to vote on, like the calendar and if I can go.
Oh, I don't think we have any other motions.
No. All right, so so, well, hold on. Did everybody see the calendar? I mean, aside from this pop-up, blocking it. Hazel, you're having your normal meeting on the first Thursday at 6:30?
That's February's calendar though. We
Oh,
never
yeah,
put up-
sorry.
Sorry. I haven't,
look-
hold on. I haven't heard from the committee, so I don't know if there's anything for us to meet on.
Okay.
So I have to get back to you on that.
So do we want to make the 4th Public Safety and Transportation Committee meeting?
Yes,
No, because the commissioner's coming on the 4th.
Yeah, I think that's the point. Is that
Oh,
not?
right. He's
Yeah.
coming for public, I'm sorry. I'm getting my
Because
committees
public,
mixed up.
public safety wanted to speak about like
Yeah,
Bronxdale
public
and stuff
safety and
like that.
transportation.
we
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
to
sorry.
speak on.
All right, so I'm
Many committees.
gonna take public safety off the 19th. All right, so public safety and transportation,
Can we have
Maybe
the public hearing on the 19th then?
well, it's up to, and
We can do the 11th.
Oh, yeah, we could do the 11th, sure.
or 19th or 13th, whatever you want.
Rabbi.
Just let me know.
Today's 11th, what day is
The 11th is a Monday.
Monday.
Monday, I like
The
Monday.
11th
You
is
like
a
the
Monday.
Monday?
I like the
Alright.
13th.
So Monday the 11th.
It's actually a good luck number for Italian.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll become-
That's Taylor Swift, right?
Mr. Jeremy, can we go back just to drop, I'm sorry. And I think I asked for this somewhere online. So the DOT commissioner is coming. I don't want this to look like a schlep organization. So could you send out, I don't know how you do this to the public, to all the community board, could we just have a list of items that we want to discuss with him? And I think it would be very fair to get it to him ahead of time. Instead of
Yep.
everybody screaming and yelling and everybody saying the same thing 3 times, let's just come up, for lack of a
Point.
better word, of an agenda of we want to go from A to Z. I don't care what it is, but we would like you to respond to these items that Community Board 11 is concerned about. I just don't want it to be,
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a 3-hour duplicate thing, and I wanted to show that we're actually half organized when a DOT commissioner shows up here.
So Jeremy, would it be possible to send out a questionnaire to the board members to see if there's anything they'd like to ask?
Yeah, and it's not so hard. It's just, what would you like to ask? Anything that has to do with the DOT. I don't want anybody ask about DOT, about the pizza store that's on Williamsbridge Road. I want them to ask things that he can answer.
And then let the rabbi see it so he can go through it and read out.
Yeah,
the,
but that's assuming, you know.
Forget, or you just,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I mean.
Right, he is a
Yeah,
commissioner.
we'll do our best. Doesn't mean people won't, do what they want. So Debbie, when you arranged for the commissioner to come and speak, did you give him a list of items? Did he ask for a list of items? I'm not saying that, he needed to ask, but I'm just curious.
No, I did not give him a list, but Alina.
All right, so we'll provide a list. And
Yeah,
we won't scare him away.
he would like a list of things, and he'll definitely accept things that are not on the list, but he would like a list, but I did not supply him a list.
All right. No, I just want to know if he had any. He's just introduced himself so far as he knows. Okay.
Out to the board and to the community,
Question.
Yeah.
get a
Yeah,
question,
no,
give a
we'll-
deadline for the date. So that then things
Right, so
can
the
be looked
committee can
at,
go over it and
we go
decide.
over it and then.
Yeah, so so how about this? We'll work something between now and the full board. We'll remind people of the full board. and we'll give them till what, the 29th? Is that, what do you want, Rabbi? Because the
Yeah, that sounds
That's the
good.
week
I would
before.
say to the 29th is good, and I'm gonna do a part B to that. Let the DOT commissioner bring whoever he wants that's on reports to him. Maybe the guy who's in charge of parking, the guy who's a gal who's in charge of this. So we go, well, we don't have to get answers. Oh, we'll look into it. I'll have it right in front.
Well, that's why we're gonna send him the list.
But let him bring whoever he wants. I don't.
So if he has a list, and Jeremy, if you explain, or whoever explains to him that these are the list of questions, bring whoever you need with you that is gonna answer these questions.
Excellent. Second the motion.
That's right, yes.
We don't want, I'll get back to you. We want to know the answers then and now.
One business day.
Okay.
So that's the way we'll handle that.
Well, there's too many, there's too
Hold
many
Hold on.
Leaving in
Taking a
10
little
minutes.
bit of time.
things going on.
This-
Jeremy, I
yeah.
think 29th is
trying-
too late.
Hold on, I gotta meet everybody. All right, one person, please. One person. Speak. You should have your ability to unmute.
I was trying to hear what Al was saying, but I'm also
Sorry.
hearing other voices in that room. So can Al, can you please repeat what you were saying?
No, what I said, Debbie, was that a questionnaire will go out and when we send the questions to the commissioner, we'll ask him to bring whoever he needs with him to answer all the questions that are given to him. We don't want somebody to say later, I'll get back to you. We want the answers then and now. So anybody who needs to answer those questions should be present at that meeting.
So I just want to qualify that. So it's my just so you're aware, and I can verify this. I mean, I more or less 99% know this. So the difference between the Bronx DOT commissioner and myself is arguably a title. So he can't necessarily bring, in some ways it's like, it's like you rely on me to get a response from the BP's office or some other agency.
Well,
So
perhaps, Jeremy, he can get if he can't bring them, he can get the response before he comes.
yeah, he will do his best.
One at a time.
If a question comes out that he can't answer, but he has the questions in advance, he would go to the person who can answer it, and that would get back to him. This way, when he comes here, he will have the answer, even though that person may not be here. He'll
And,
have a list of the questions ahead of time, so there's no reason why he can't get the answers for us.
and that brings Phyllis to her point.
The 29th is too late to get them back because then it.
Yeah, let's do the 26th, Monday the 26th then. How's that?
Yeah,
Good.
That's better.
much better, yeah.
Second.
Then it gives us a week to get everything together, get
Actually-
his questions, and have him get the answers.
Right.
If you want to be better, why don't we just do the 23rd? We announce it, hey, or is that too much? You want to give people the weekend?
Give him a weekend.
Give him the weekend.
Give him a
All right, so
weekend,
let's-
25th. And if I have to come into the office and with Hazel, I'll go over the questions with you on that Tuesday. If I
All right,
have
so we want to know by Monday morning, the 26th. How's that?
fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fine.
that's fine.
I can come in Monday. That's good. 26th
All
is
right.
good.
All right, so I'll go back to the calendar. Public safety, transportation, sanitation, the 5th, April. Yes,
Thanks,
no?
Jeremy. Well, we had a great meeting last week. We didn't had a guest, but we had great discussion, thanks to Roger and everyone that was present. We all learned from each other. We had Diana Finch and Cynthia, everyone that
That's great, April, but what I need to know right now, what we need to know right now is, are you having a meeting on the 5th in March?
we're trying to figure that out because it's hard to get someone from sanitation. So we're trying to figure out what's the next step, what's our next discussion and our next guest. So I'll
Okay.
keep you posted this week.
Okay, also, you got an email, I got an email response from, I don't know if you saw that, we did get a response the day after your meeting from sanitation.
Can you send it to me?
Yes, I did. Double
Okay.
check, but I'm pretty
All
sure I
right.
did.
All right, thanks.
All right, so we're gonna keep education on the 6th. Hazel, you're gonna get back to us on about the 7th.
Mhm.
The 11th is gonna be the public hearing. I'll tweak that. I'll put the actual what the public hearing is about. On the 12th, you've already scheduled guests, right?
Yes,
Parks on the 14th.
I'm waiting for John to get back to me.
Parks,
Fox,
Janice.
that's you, wake up.
Okay, no, I'm ready. Parks, we got word that the councilman, the senator, and the assemblyman have finally given funding for that park house.
The bathroom?
Finally,
Nice,
all of them. With
Good.
a real bathroom.
nice.
Not a running porta potty. with
Good job, Janice.
cheese and bread.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
That's
Said
amazing.
it's amazing.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Oh, finally, after raising
Yeah.
chicken.
I said.
Well, that's what you gotta do.
Fine,
All right,
yeah.
18th,
Ethics, right?
I think the 18th is fine. I'll double check with Naomi.
Economic development, executive board leadership, community development, and full board. Community development, is you okay with right before the full board, Serena?
Yes, Jeremy, I am.
All right, so unless there's anything else, I don't know if diversity is gonna have a meeting. I know.
Yes, we are,
There-
Jeremy.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to strain your voice, so if you want to
It's
put it in the
okay.
chat, tell me later.
It's fine, you can give us the 19th, it's fine.
All right, unless there's any other committee, we will do that and close the calendar. Okay, Al?
all right, a motion to accept the calendar,
I second it.
To adjourn.
all in favor, well,
Hold
anybody,
on, Al,
anybody
Ken.
opposed? Yeah.
Al, it's Kenny. I just heard that somebody put that the 11th is the first night of Ramadan. I don't know if that's going to be any problem for anybody, but I just like to find, give me 2 seconds, maybe we can see if we can find out if there will be a problem on that,
First night of
of
Ramadan.
the public hearing.
Okay.
Is that what, there'll be bigger, I don't know if that's going to be a problem.
Well, I don't know if that means, what does that mean?
I'm not sure.
Well, Yahe is here.
I'm trying,
Yeah, but I thought Yahe's not on the board anymore.
we can ask, he may be willing to.
He can give us
You can come
input.
back, you can speak in the gallery if it's an issue.
Speaking of gallery, that's what I meant.
All right. So until further notice, that's it, right? The committee vote?
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn,
Okay. I'm gonna close the calendar.
yeah.
Al? You want to open it to the gallery?
And we go to the gallery session.
Do you want to call on people that are in person first? I don't think anybody signed up to speak. I'll double check.
Who wants to speak?
Usually Harriet's good about checking that.
So just, we only have Efren here that wants to speak.
Miguel had his hand up first.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing in person.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bye, take care.
So Al, are you doing the 2
I
minutes?
got it.
Okay, go ahead, Efren.
So, I wanted the leadership committee and any of the members of the board and the community to know that I am in full support of what I had heard on Health and Human Services presented by the Committee of Interns and Residents with SCIU. I am a delegate with 1199. We're not in the same group locally, but nationally, and I do support them. And I wanted everybody to know that I know healthcare very well, and I know what they go through. And I understand that it has been trying times, especially since COVID. So I want to give my support to that because I want people to understand that when we go to healthcare facilities like Jacoby, that we are seeing interns and residents give of themselves. And so I want to ask that this board recommend, and I know it will be brought up by Sandy and it will come up with discussion at the general board meeting, but that the Committee of Intern and Residents do need our support in this community. The other thing, I'm against the Samaritan Daytop Village location at 1521 Jarrett Place because I believe that we have too much going on in the area in terms of we cannot solve everybody's problems.
30
We
seconds.
cannot be taxed on things that, you know, we just don't have the infrastructure for that. So, I mean, looks could be deceiving, but we do. And we have a lot of vulnerable people that are seniors, children, and women and men and children. And lastly, we do have to focus more on public safety. I'm concerned about what I'm hearing about what's happening around Bronx Park East. But as a community as a whole, and of course, that housing NYCHA scandal. So let's just keep an eye on everything. That's all.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Sandy, you brought up a really good, I know, did Daytop come? They, I forget the group.
They did. They came, yeah, on Tuesday, and several people, different areas came, spoke, etc. It's all on the,
And I didn't know if you or the committee were going to want to make a recommendation though regarding it.
make any recommendation. They were just coming in as a courtesy to tell us what was going on, what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do it, where they're gonna do it.
They would not contact us out of courtesy. They contacted us because they had to.
They
Just
want
like-
to be part of the community.
What do you have next, Jeremy?
Nobody in person, so then I guess Miguel had his hand raised. Yes, no,
Many.
Diana Finch.
and then Diana Finch after him.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Miguel.
So I'm a little concerned because I know that the investigative committee was brought up, and Veronica had said that they did not meet. So I was wondering if they did not meet, who is kind of in charge of making that happen? Because it seems that it's just kind of like lost in limbo.
It's not. They were waiting for one more response, which I believe is going to be sent out or was sent out today or tomorrow. And I believe they were waiting for that to have their first meeting. So it is not lost, and I'm keeping an eye on it, and I'm going to reach out to them to find out when the new meeting is going to start. I think they were just waiting for that one response.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Diana?
Yes, thanks. So I was putting up flyers for our BPECA meeting at the 2440 Boston Road Senior NYCHA, because we have members in that building, and I noticed that the door locks were completely broken. So I texted the NCO for public housing and to report it, and he said that currently there are 16 doors broken. It's the senior public housing and then the Pelham Parkway houses, and that every few days he gets a report on the status of broken doors throughout NYCHA. But there's not much more than that he could do. So I just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention because it really doesn't seem acceptable, and maybe public safety could take it up. It's also kind of a waste of time of the police officers if they have to just keep track of broken doors. And I know Roxanne had mentioned that it was a problem with the kids from the high school going and hanging out in the stairwells after school at the Pelham Parkway houses. And also to answer what Efrain had said, that at our BPECA meeting last night, all the NCOs for our area came and we discussed at length the problem of the car thefts, especially along Bronx Park East. They have a special task force that's going out at the prime hours, and they also have cameras. So we had a very lengthy discussion with him about that.
Thank you, Diana.
Diana, can you email me that information?
Yes. What's your email?
Hold on, I'll get it to her.
Okay.
I don't think you want to besides that.
Robert?
And who's the other one with the hand?
I know.
Roxanne.
First.
Thank you, Brian. Robert?
Yes, thank you, Al. Tuesday, the 27th is the second City of Yes city planning presentation. There should be a meeting of the City of Yes either the 29th, 2 days later, or in March to cover these two presentations. Now, the second item I have is when is the first meeting of the investigative committee? Because I would like to testify at that meeting. There's something very interesting I'd like to say to the committee, and I would like to testify at that hearing. And lastly, as you heard about Jarrett Avenue or Jarrett Place, Montefiore has those few blocks where they have clinics and services for people. They are moving across Eastchester Road when the new buildings are being built. Simone owns that property where Stop and Shop was. They are going to be building for Montefiore Hospital, including that's probably where the new children's hospital is going to go. So Montefiore is now leasing out that property that it no longer needs in the Jarrett Avenue area. So that's why Samaritan Village is able to put 50 more transitional housing people there, as they called it, not from Community Board 11. When I pressed them on how many from Community Board 11, they said from the Bronx, from Manhattan, from Queens, from Brooklyn, but they couldn't come down with a number. Plus, they service 200 people at the 2800 Bronxwood Avenue site here in Community Board 11 also. So I would vote against having them have a facility at that Jarrett Place. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
So Al?
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Jeremy, go ahead.
Sorry, just real quick. Bob, you're a committee member of that committee, City Yes, right?
Yes, I am.
Did you bring that up to what you brought to us, to the chairs of the committee?
I don't have their emails.
Okay,
I have
so
no contact information for them.
I'll reach out to them then.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Roxanne?
Yes, evening. I have two issues I'd like to bring up in regards to Community Board 11. First, the city charter does mandate community boards to hold monthly district service cabinet meetings. And per the calendar, that has not been done since June of last year. So basically Community Board 11 is a violation of city charter. Second issue is that at last month's leadership meeting, it was clearly stated by several board members, some who are in attendance now, that they will not give special treatment to the 7-Eleven applicants by allowing them to speak outside the gallery session or provide them with more than 2 minutes. Yet that was not done at last month's full meeting. Not only did they speak outside the gallery session, but they spoke for longer than that 2 minutes, and they were not even registered in advance because, per my understanding, you have to register 36 hours in advance to speak online, which is an issue I've been having myself. And yet you apply those rules to certain people, but not to certain other people. And that's the issues I have with Community Board 11. Constantly that you have rules that apply to some, but don't apply to others. And that's not right. You have to have processes. You have to follow the city charter, and you have to apply your process whether people agree or not equally. It's called equity. This is why people have difficulties with this board, because they feel like that the board is not treating people equally. You know, if you look at the Constitution, we are all equal. If you believe in God, we're all created equally. So this is very disturbing to me, and I thank you for that for your time. Enjoy your evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Roxanne. Anyone else? Our gallery session is closed. I just want to mention one thing. On February 26th, City Planning is coming to the Morris Park Community Association to talk about the upzoning in the community. Anybody who's interested, may be a good idea if you attended. It's going to start at 7 o'clock.
Sponsored by Councilwoman Marmorato.
Right, Councilwoman Marmorato put it together for us. So if anybody's interested, City Planning, February 26th at the Morris Park Community Association, 1824 Bronxdale Avenue. Okay, any motion?
You made them already, basically, right?
Old business?
Old business?
New business?
New business?
I have just two things I wanted to bring up real quick. Angel Diaz, he's one of our community board members. He sent us these flyers this afternoon about 2 upcoming events that he wanted to bring to the board's attention. And I'll forward it to Jeremy and ask if it could be sent out to the board. But there's a
School supply giveaway.
the school supply, is this the one you mentioned? Okay, so this is February 17th at 12 p.m., the school supply drive.
At Eastchester
And it's going to be at Eastchester Gardens. 3016 Yates Avenue. And the other one is AGS Women's Health Fair, which is going to be held March 9th from 12 to 3 p.m. also at Eastchester Gardens Community Center. So we'll get this sent out to the community board, but Angel asked me to bring it to leadership tonight to make everyone aware of it. So thank you.
So just to qualify that,
Why didn't he send it to me? He didn't even come to this.
And there's one more thing, I'm sorry. As Jeanette mentioned earlier, there at the ethics committee, there was talk about the social media committee. And Tiz and Jeanette, please correct me if I'm missing anything. I think part of the issue was that some of the people that are on the unofficial Community Board 11 page are moderators who are also board members, and they don't feel that that's appropriate. That if it's an unofficial community board page, that maybe the board members shouldn't be moderators on that page. So Jeanette, is that correct?
well,
Yes, the thing Naomi mentioned is that she was in correspondence with the borough president, and the borough president has concerns over community board members being moderators on Facebook pages that are not official CB11 sites. And one of the Facebook pages that were mentioned was Citizens of Community Board 11. And I did, because I'm not the greatest on Facebook, but I after the meeting, I did go on Facebook to look at that page. And from what I saw on the About Citizens of Community Board 11, it was actually started by a CB11 member. And I don't know if they're still moderators or not, but I think that's one of the things that we brought up as a concern regarding social media.
so just since I know how this played out, so 6 months before I became district manager, Joanne Rubino created that page for the community board. We eventually made that the official page in 2012, and then it was made the unofficial page, or we converted to a more standardized page. So good luck on getting Joanne to take down a page that she probably is not going to.
I'm not suggesting either one. I'm just
Well, no,
bringing
I'm just
it to the ethics committee.
Yeah, I think the issue is having board members as moderators on that page. That's an unofficial page, because it kind of gives the look like the board is relegating what's being said on that page and what's not being said and what's being deleted. So I think that was the issue that was coming up, not suggesting that the page be decommissioned or taken down, just that maybe board members shouldn't be the ones
Could you-
regulating what's
Maybe
right on there.
make a disclaimer.
Jeremy, could you check with the borough president and see if there's something we can do about that? Can we ask board members not to,
I don't think any of the board members would have an issue with coming off as moderators of that page.
Well, I think Joanne would. But
One at a time.
But let's find out what the the legal aspects are. So if you call community board, call the borough president, and let you know.
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure what, the advice that Naomi got, that's the advice. I mean, I don't think there's any disputing that.
Right, but it was strongly suggested, not that you can't do it.
Yeah, just like you shouldn't, vote more than once, even though you can legally, according to your bylaws. So,
I see a hand.
If I may, there is an official policy.
I'm sorry,
He said
Miguel says there is an official policy.
where?
From the borough president. It's on the
yeah.
website.
Oh, it's on their website? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't hear him.
So I know Naomi had me share something that I think she received from the borough president, but it didn't look official like what Miguel's suggesting. So maybe we should try to get the site source, so to speak. So that way everybody sees it black and white.
Yeah, so if you could find out
If I can get it, I'll send it to Jeremy to disseminate to the board.
Yeah. So again, so what I was trying to say earlier, well, at least, I mean, Miguel's a member of the public at this point, but he knows the rest of us. but this is particularly for board members. If you're gonna email me, unless it's something you want to keep confidential between you and me, you need to email Harriet and Chris. Because like, I can't do everything, and I am not gonna do everything, if you haven't noticed. So,
Yeah, that's
So-
something I do all the time. I always copy Chris and Harriet on anything I send to Jeremy, just so if he can't jump on it, one of them can. Just in practice, unless, like you said, it's something you want just between him and
because
yourself.
I'm doing my best to take leave, because I have 600 hours of leave accrued, which is a detriment to not only me, but the board. So you got to get in the habit of not just me, Chris, Harriet, and if there's something you want to share with the rest of the board, I also recommend you include Bernadette.
And Celine.
Duly noted.
Stand up.
Oh, sorry, Serena?
Serena.
Serena?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I just want to say with regards to the social media, I think this is one important asset that we as a community board have. Understanding that one of the pages belongs to or was, created by one of our board members, and then one is an official page. It's confusing even to me as a board member. What I would like, and I heard Jeremy say a little bit earlier, it's like, okay, social media, that committee. I really find that committee to be a very valuable committee if we really assign the committee and in such a way, or structured it in such a way where we could really be responding to the community, offering information, not as it comes along, but really intentionally creating a calendar of not just events, but like really like quarterly calendars of what we want to share with the community. It is our way of free advertising, so to speak, outside of doing more grassroots and stapling things on a poll or whatever have you. It is our way to communicate with our community, and we haven't really been utilizing it to the best of our ability. I've been feeling this for a long time, and I just wanted to share that because I think we're not taking the full advantage of our social media platforms. I know there was an Instagram that was created several months ago, and we're just not really. We're in an age where this is where how people communicate, and this is easy. This doesn't take legwork. It's definitely takes time and effort, but it's not physical sweat equity is what I'm trying to say. And so that's just my input, and well, thank you for letting me share that.
Thank you.
Just sorry, Al, just to clarify what I was saying earlier, I think, yeah, the committee is a good idea, but if they're not going to meet, then it really shouldn't exist. That's my only point. I agree that there's valuable purpose for something like a social media committee. So whoever's on that committee, I recommend you start meeting or disband. That's just my recommendation.
Taking what Serena said, if that committee does meet and does basically what Serena had said, in other words, if it's incumbent upon them to put that information on the website, that might be a good idea. That might be part of what the committee can do.
I mean, it should also discuss, what came up in ethics,
Right.
with the BP, because the city as a whole has its own social media policy separate from the BP.
I don't want to tell them how to run their committee, but that's something they can think about and something that they can, maybe work on.
I mean, obviously, I believe that we have to take into consideration what those policies are. But as a whole, we're really not utilizing this platform to really engage with our community in the way that we should. I know I send things that I think are important, not just for our community, but as, for the city as a whole or whatever, to the board, and then, or even to certain committee members to share. But we really need a structure because we're really not utilizing this platform to the best of its ability. And I think I don't even think it should be an ad hoc or a non-standing committee. I think it really should truly be a full committee where as a board, we decide or voted, what we're going to, what we're going to highlight every quarter. And as things come along, we do that. But we're in a different day and age, and we're really not utilizing it the way that I think we should. That's just my opinion.
I think if the committee meets and discusses what you spoke about, and they decide that this is what they want to do, then I think that's a great idea. And then it can be a standing committee. Anything else?
Thank you.
Well, anything else? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming.
So
Meeting
me-
Sorry, one
Good
more
night,
thing.
everybody.
Hold on.
Next month, I will be in Florida, so I asked Veronica if she would chair the leadership meeting.
I might have a cold. No, kidding. I will be here.
Al, can I go with you?
Good night.
So,
Good night, everyone.
so I'm sunning myself, Veronica.
Good night.
Just for the record, the meeting ended at 8:12 PM.
Night, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Right.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Good night.